The Bible is for me. Okay, we back. It's been a minute. I like when we miss a week.
1 minute. We missed a couple weeks.
Did we miss more than one? I think we just missed one.
Well, just our recording schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've missed a lot in my life.
Well, I can't wait to hear about it.
I did that thing again.
You promised.
I did kind of promise. I did that thing where I saved another rat
What?
from death.
How?
It was like in the pool. It was just
Stop.
Yeah, I woke up. It was like last week, but I woke up in the morning. It was like on the little creepy crawly thing that goes around the pool, and it was just like huddled on the little hose line. I thought it was dead already, and I walked out there. I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a little rat!" And so I went and I like got the little pool scooper thing, and it was live, but it was like barely hanging on. So I like scooped it up and I set it over on the side.
Do you ever think about that experience from the point of view of the rat?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, because I got a little towel and put it around it.
Yeah.
So it would live, and it wasn't dead right away. It was a little baby. It was like a little baby rat.
Like imagine if you were drowning and being 10 times your size just sort of picked you up, took care of you, got you to safety. I feel like you'd like never stop talking. You'd be like, guys, I was going to die. I was like, the end is here. It's over for me.
Yeah.
And then a giant benevolent creature
That's
saved me.
A benevolent creature that's also kind of generally trying to kill me.
Yeah, yeah. You know the guy that does the traps and the poison? It was him. How confusing is this?
When they're outside, I kind of let them do their own thing. It's like that's their world.
Agree.
Stay outside.
I agree. This is a great point. Have you ever seen, I'm sure you have, the, because they're for commercial. This used to be your world more. They're like a commercial rat killer lives outside constantly kind of thing. And I'm like, well, that's
not cool.
That's not cool. They can be outside.
Yeah.
Now you're on the offensive is what I'm saying.
Is there another way of saying that?
You can be defensive about your home and be like, no rats, you can't be in here. You can't start just go. Now you're just out.
Offensive?
Kill it. Yeah.
You say it like that?
I'm O positive that you say it offensive.
Okay.
Oh boy. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Bible's Funny Podcast. My name's Anthony. That's Tim. You're here for Cheat Day Devos. So we should get started.
Way to use the Mickey Mouse voice too, by the way, when we're talking about rats.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's a giant rat.
He sure is.
He's a giant rat that we've befriended. Seriously, rats processing humans has got to just be like, what?
And
Is their deal?
And rats have to be like, God, if I only had a bushy tail, I would be a squirrel.
I know.
And people would love me.
I know.
But now we're like, gross. It's nasty.
Like that's seriously
Like,
gotta come up in the meetings.
Because squirrels can carry the Black Plague too.
Sure.
It's not just the rat.
Sure. And they're far more often darting in front of your car, right? Like there's a lot more. They got to look around and go like, oh, so squirrels, bunnies, they stop but they gather around. They're like, come here, come here.
Right.
You got to see this bunny I just saw. And then they're like, rah!
Yeah.
Kill that.
I did see a giant possum today. I thought it was a potbelly pig crossing the road. I think it was huge.
Might have been preggers.
I think so.
Yeah.
So I threw it in the pool.
So I threw it in the pool. Save a life, take a life. You know what I mean? Perfectly balanced. Yeah, rats got to be like, man, sometimes they're killing me. And then I go in there and we're on TV. You guys aren't believe this. We were on TV. We had a big clubhouse. A bunch of friends. And we were married to a beautiful other rat.
Do you think mice and rats like get along? Do you think they kind of collaborate? Because nobody likes the rat, but everybody's okay with a mouse.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's like more biological terms, but it kind of just seems like the mouse is the one you can almost like keep as a pet. Like a rat is just a mouse that lives outside.
Yeah.
To most, I think. A mouse is contained. It's like is in the gerbil family.
Yeah.
A rat is an outdoor animal.
Yeah.
And so we hate them.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, good. Got that
I
settled.
think we got that all ironed out. Numbers 15 through 21. Boy, we are really moving through numbers, Tim.
We are.
As quick as you like.
7 numbers at a time.
Before we start, if you are new to the podcast, hello, welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Get yourself a hat.
Get a hat. New Bible's Funny hat. This is available in the show notes. I'll put the link. People are loving the new hats, Tim.
That's great.
If you're new, welcome. My name is Anthony. As I said before, this is my best friend, Tim. We gather here today to talk about the Bible in a segment we call Cheat Day Devos. Mm-hmm. Neither of us know very much about the Bible. Really, our expertise lies in pretty non-serious or helpful areas. Not that we know nothing. It's just like we don't know a lot that's helpful to you.
Yeah.
But we gather here today to discuss the Bible anyway.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I know that I'm an expert in some stuff. Just none of it is useful.
Yeah.
To anyone, myself included.
Right. That's right. You want to talk about like 1998 NFL rosters? I'll go all day. Talk about that forever. Mm-hmm. But like, actual useful stuff.
No.
I don't know. So we're going to discuss the Bible today. We've read through these portions of Numbers. We're going to give you our highlights, the things that jumped out to us. And spoiler alert, the things that jumped out to us are always the things that we think are funny and make us giggle. But there's other great things in here. So, read it for yourself and see what you discover. But during this podcast, we're going to discuss the things Tim and I read and we thought were really funny and interesting, and we're going to share those. Mm-hmm. You ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll skip through some stuff and hit the highlights. But we did the work. I did more. I've done more Bible reading for this project than I ever have in my whole life, and I've read a lot of chapters that were always glossed over in Sunday school.
Yeah.
And now here we are.
A lot of numbers. People are just kind of like passing through.
Mm-hmm.
We always feel for those read the Bible in a year people, because they started Genesis and it gets pretty tough pretty quick after Exodus. But we are in Numbers 15 is where we're going to get started today. Tim, what do the people need to know about Numbers 15?
Numbers 15 from I'm reading the Message version of the Bible. Anthony is in the NIV.
The NIV.
NIV. Numbers 15 calls this the matters of worship. This is the matters of worship. It starts, God spoke to Moses, speak to the people of Israel, tell them, when you enter your homeland that I'm giving you a sacrifice. I'm giving to you, and sacrifice a fire gift to God, a whole burnt offering, or any sacrifice from the herd or flock, or vow offering, or free will offering, or any of the pointing, blah, 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 blah. With each lamb, or it says, offer with 2 quarts of fine flour mixed with a quart of oil. With each lamb for the whole burnt offering or other sacrifice, prepare a quart of oil and a quart of wine as a drink offering. And then it's all the instructions on what to do for these matters of worship. And we've kind of, the Exodus numbers kind of repeat themselves quite a few times. Mm-hmm. But then verse 8 through 10, it says, when you prepare a young bull as a whole burnt offering or sacrifice or special vow or peace offering to God, bring the bull, bring it with 6 quarts of fine flour and 2 quarts of oil and all this stuff. And then it says each bull or ram, each lamb or young goat is to be prepared in the same way. Carry out his procedure for each one, or this procedure for each one, no matter how many you have to prepare. And God is saying, no cutting corners.
Cutting corners. Yeah.
This is like the great chef. Like we're not
right.
putting this on a buffet. Like you treat each meal as if it's special and individual. And I like that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And it's almost like, if there's a dinner rush, you still gotta hit the marks. Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is how we get 3 stars.
We got 10 orders of lamb. Everyone's got to be great. Mm-hmm. You get to cut corn. You're like, do I got to keep using the fine flour? Can I use the okay flour?
Can I put all the flour out there can I just put a barrel of it out there and kind of cover
the average flour?
You can't.
No.
That's what God said.
Fine flour, quart by quart. Mm-hmm. Froggy went a courting and he did right, as they say.
I don't think they do.
Numbers 15. What jumped out at me is a section. It starts in verse 22, and it's addressing, like you said, these are kind of policies for worship and things like that. Verse 22 says, "Now if you as a community unintentionally fail to keep any of these commands the Lord gave Moses. And there's a whole section for an unintentional moral failing,
Right.
which I just think I think that's great. I think that's necessary. You know, we need to have room for that one was an accident. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. And I said a thing I shouldn't have said because, you know, somebody walked in and was like, "Oh, hey man, how's Rebecca?" And it's like, oh, him and Rebecca broke up. Like,
Didn't know.
a day ago. And I'm like, oh, that was a faux pas on my part, but it was an unintentional faux pas.
Right.
I was not being mean. I didn't know.
There's the times where you do go into the room and you're like, how's Rebecca? Bet she's doing better without you.
Hey-o!
Yeah. And she is.
She's doing she's thriving.
Doing great.
We're really proud of Rebecca here on the podcast.
No, like I think that's a good point. I think there's there's something to that. Like I kind of have to go through this with my kids sometimes.
Yeah.
They go, okay, I don't want to apologize. Like I didn't do something wrong because I didn't mean to hit her in the face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get you didn't mean to hit her in the face. It still hurts to get hit in the face.
That's right.
And if you want to say something, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like we never force the apology or anything, but like there seems to be, I mean, obviously there's a distinction between the two, but I feel like there should be an offering, a ritual that's just for I didn't mean to do that stuff. And we know that it's true. This like section continues and like the first part is about a group, like a congregation of people who unintentionally mess up and do something. Yeah,
unintentionally. Right.
And then it goes into like an individual here. So I'll read that. Like it's verse 23-ish. If it happened more or less by mistake with the congregation unaware of it, then the whole congregation is to sacrifice one bull as a whole burnt offering, a pleasing fragrance to God. The priest is to atone for the entire community. Mm-hmm. If the sin was not deliberate and they offered to God a fire gift, blah, 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 the whole community, including the foreigners living there, will be absolved. This is a community thing.
Yeah.
And then verse 27, 28 says, but if it's just one person who sins by mistake, not realizing what he's doing, he is to bring in a yearling she-goat as an absolution offering. And my guess is the she-goat here is probably going to start like accusing other people of being involved in the wrongdoing. She-goat's like, Frank is being accused of this thing.
Right.
I think Frank and all his buddies were really colluding. So you probably don't need to sacrifice. You probably need to go back to the young ram because you get the boy ram. She-goat.
So the she-goat, if the she-goat can indict more people,
then she's off the hook.
Then the cost is different.
Yeah, she doesn't get sacrificed. If it's only a single person, then a she-goat gets sacrificed. If it's
and then vice versa too. The ram is probably like, I don't think I think this is kind of a Jerry problem. It sounds like we're punishing everybody for a Jerry issue. That's the court setup, is the she-goat.
She-goat versus
and the ram,
he-goat, yeah.
You're just going like, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's a young bull otherwise. And I do feel like the young bulls kind of get picked on a bit. They're getting killed left and right.
Wow.
I'm just saying, in all these offerings, we don't get very many she-goats talked about.
I haven't heard she-goat much.
You can sacrifice your goat. Whoops, sorry everybody. You can sacrifice your goat. Sacrifice your bull. You sacrifice doves and pigeons and all sorts of things. You're ripping the wings off.
I'm remembering many instances where they laid their hands on the head of a bull. Yeah, the she-goat. But maybe that's why. Maybe they're great at convincing people, and that's why they never end up in the sacrifices, because they're always like talking people into
the she-goats. You think?
Yeah, the she-goats are always working their way out of. They're the she-goats of litigation. I
get what you're trying to do with that joke.
It's a dual meaning.
Yeah.
For goat.
Yeah.
I do like this though. I just think the NFL used to have a policy that this brought to mind, where it was like, there was a face masking penalty. Some people will remember.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, it's 5 yards if you were just like, I'm tackling you, and I accidentally, in tackling all of you, happened to like kind of grab a little piece of your face mask, versus like, I grabbed your face mask and I yanked you to the ground. And they got rid of that. And I think as a society, we need more We need to bring those back. We need to be able to identify more that it was like you said with your kids. That there's like, there's times where you're like, you were not nice and you need to sort of calm down and then go back and reassess all the damage you caused when you were in your not nice space. And then there's times we just got to go like, this is maybe it's the varying levels of horn on the car is another one, right? Where you're like, oh, the light turned green. You didn't really notice. It's like a meep, meep, beep, like a, hey, look up. Versus like you made a choice to cut in here. She goat. Difference. See what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's just we do these overarching penalties because we don't want to use discernment anymore. And that's how cancel culture got started. Am I right?
Let him cook a little bit. I'm also curious about like what is a societal what's a cross community ill that you commit accidentally? The one that came to mind for me was like when we allowed wallet chains to be popular. You know? And I think you can kind of wake up from that stupor and go like, "Oh man, that was a mistake. I'm sorry."
Yeah, it's Crocs. I mean, that's
personal.
You know what you've done wrong.
That's personal.
By cloaking your whole family in Crocs.
Nothing wrong.
You would have Crocs ice skates if you could.
Oh, if Crocs made ice skates. Could you imagine?
I could imagine you falling on your face.
You imagine how much more of the world would ice skate if Crocs offered ice skates?
We don't need Crocs people ice skating. We don't need more of them.
Crocs people are the best kind of people. They're utilitarian. They're ready for anything.
Are they? Can they do anything?
They're in sport mode. They're out of sport mode.
I don't think they actually can do anything.
Crocs people are... Everybody needs Crocs people in their life. Yeah, I can't go along with Crocs being the answer to that.
Moving on in this chapter, there's some big stuff.
Can we get to the end?
Yeah.
Start at 32?
Yeah.
Around 32-ish?
Oh, yeah. That's where I'm at. I'll just read this.
Go ahead.
Once during the wilderness years of the people of Israel, a man was caught. Oh, sorry. This is all about like gathering on the Sabbath, what you can do on the Sabbath and whatnot.
Sorry, why did that hit me like Saved by the Bell? Like the wilderness. It's like the Jewish people, the wilderness years.
The wilderness years. A man was caught gathering wood on the Sabbath.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It doesn't seem that bad to me.
Well,
we'll see. Well, the ones who caught him hauled him before Moses and Aaron and the entire congregation. Okay. Seems aggressive already. They put him in custody for gathering wood on the Sabbath until it became clear what to do with him. Then God spoke to Moses, give the man the death penalty. Yeah. Yes, kill him. The whole community hurling stones at him outside the camp. So the whole community took him outside the camp, threw stones at him. An execution commanded by God and given through Moses. Mm-hmm. God is love. Mm-hmm. What happened?
Did you add that last one?
God is love was added later, but it was a different part of the Bible. So I felt like I could kind of bridge the gap here.
Right.
What the heck?
One thing I immediately, when I got this story, I was like, at what point, why did this guy never go like, oh, sorry, it was an accident? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I didn't mean to. I meant to pick up nothing, and I accidentally picked up a stick. We've all been there.
Right.
And then it becomes a she-goat instead of his whole person that has to go. Brought up a really important question to me. Mm-hmm. How much work are you allowed to do to enforce no working? Because it feels like a lot of work was done.
Right. To haul him.
They found him. You're having to like get like...
Yeah, they were out in the wilderness too doing something.
There's a lot of... And then you got to throw rocks at him. This is a lot of work to enforce not working. Mm-hmm. And that's where to me, I feel like I'm not ratting the guy out for picking up sticks. Because it would be too much work for me to rat him out for picking up sticks.
Yeah.
That would be my commitment to the Sabbath.
Yeah. It's like telling your dad, like, well, not your dad.
Why not my dad?
Not my dad either. It's like when you're a kid and you're telling your parents, like, hey, he had his eyes open when we were praying. Well, how did you know? Right. How did you know?
Yeah. You're self-indicting in that case.
Right.
And also it gives me big vibes of like, hate to go, we both have young kids. We end up in the parenting sphere a lot. But like when you're like, hey, can you pick this up? And then this like web of like why I shouldn't pick it up. There's so much work being done to not do the work. And this is also the energy. It's like you guys are now doing so much to really reinforce the rule of not doing much because of the sanctity of today. We have to do everything. We have to do the most.
Oh yeah, I love the
to
like
protect the sanctity of not doing anything.
I love the like I'm too tired to fill in the blank, and they'll like crawl their way into the bathroom to brush their teeth. They're like, I'm too tired.
Right.
Like it is more work for you to crawl. Like your stupid face is doing right now.
Right. And also, why did I picture this immediately as like either like Ned Flanders being the one howdy neighbors. Oh boy, I'm in trouble now. Like that's just my immediate. Like,
Ned is the guy who's picking up the wood.
He was just like whistling, getting a little fire going at his house, thinking like, I love the Sabbath, just spending time with my family. Hi, you fellas.
Or he was thinking it was Friday. That's
what you should have done.
Yeah.
There was a time here. I don't know if it's as common, but it was just like if someone got on trial for something, they would try to like plead insanity. That was like a way. I was like, I don't know, maybe that'll work for it. And I feel like the accidental.
I would plead
be
no
the way
calendar.
I would like, oh, is it Sabbath again?
We don't have a watch or a calendar or a phone. There's like no way of knowing what day it actually is.
I wake up. I go to sleep. I wake up. I go to sleep.
Right.
How do I know?
I just went on vacation for 4 days. You lost track of my days.
It was the daylight savings, guy. We just changed. We sprung forward. Where am I? What are we doing? I'm just saying I would do so little to stop somebody from doing so much on the Sabbath.
Moving on to number 16.
Let's go to 16.
Chapter 16 is about the rebels. Starts
it is.
with getting on his high horse one day. Korah, son of Izhar, son of Kohath, the son of Levi, along with a few Reubenites, Dathan and Abiram, sons of Elab. Okay, they rebelled against Moses.
Yeah,
he had with him 250 leaders of the congregation of Israel, prominent men with positions in the council. They came as a group, confronted Moses and Aaron, saying, "You've overstepped yourself. The entire community is holy and God is in their midst. So why do you act like you're running the whole show?"
Yeah.
Moses.
Yeah.
That is your real name. That's my words.
Yours. Yeah.
Not theirs. On hearing this, Moses threw himself face down on the ground. Then he addressed Korah and his gang. It's a gang now. In the morning, God will make clear who is on his side, who is holy. God will take his stand with the one he chooses.
Yeah.
Now, Korah, here's what I want you and your gang to do. Tomorrow, take censers. In the presence of God, put fire in them and then incense. Then we will see who's holy. See who God chooses. Sons of Levi, you've overstepped yourselves.
Yeah.
And that is not my emphasis added.
Yeah, that's right.
It says it in italics.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was a great comeback, Moses. No, you've overstepped yourself.
I'm not out of order. You're out of order.
Got him.
Yeah. That's great.
Very proud of Moses there.
Great.
But I love this setup. The whole now we're in like West Side Story kind of gang fight here.
Oh yeah.
Someone's upset. Leader, current regime says, "Nuh-uh, we're gonna see who God likes more."
Yeah.
And it's a fight. Meet you in the parking lot.
Showdown kind of situation. Verse 11. This is going on, and they're Korah's got to obviously all the setup you just gave. It's coming out against Moses, coming out against Aaron. Like he's kind of like he's leading a rebellion. He's trying to like turn things around on Moses. In verse 11, Moses says, "It is against the Lord that you and all your followers have banded together. Who is Aaron that you should grumble against him?" And I feel like that was meant to be defensive of Aaron. And yet on my reading, I was like, oh. Oh.
Who's that guy?
What? Aaron's like, I mean, I'm somebody. Moses? No.
Moses is like, hey, I mean, he's not God or anything. I mean, like, he can't even tie his own sandals. Am I right? Hey, Aaron, stop mouth breathing over there for a second and tell him how incompetent you are. Huh? Tell him.
You're like squatted up, like you said, West Side Story. Everybody's ready to fight. Aaron's there too. And he's like, what are you mad at him for? What is he? What is a middle management guy over here?
This guy.
Is it? 2 vowels to start his name? What are we even doing here?
Aaron's like, I mean, you could be mad at me. I can handle
Aaron's
myself.
reinserting himself back into
I did this to myself.
I think they should be mad at me. I'm on their side and I'm mad at me.
Yeah, because I have influence.
That matters. And that guy should be held accountable. I think they're making some sense, Moses.
I did make decisions that affected other people. I count.
In a negative sense? Yeah. Yeah.
Aaron's like Buster Bluth over here. Verse 12 to 14. Moses then ordered Dathan and Abiram, sons of Eliab, to appear, but they said, we're not coming. Is it enough that you yanked us out of the land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness? And now you keep trying to boss us around? Face it, you haven't produced. You haven't brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey. You haven't given us the promised inheritance of fields and vineyards. You'd have to poke our eyes out to keep us from seeing what's going on. Forget it. We're not coming.
Wow.
I know. This drama is
You'd
so
have
much.
to poke our eyes out to get us to not see what's going on.
I'd have to be blind to not see how
line.
incompetent you are.
Pretty good line.
Yeah, that was great digs.
Yeah. I think this is just great to know that, like, throughout human history, everyone has always been upset with the guy in charge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whoever's in charge, people, like, you become a boss, and that seems like professionally that's like aspirational for people, but it's like just you're signing up for everybody to dislike you, just so you know. Like, it's, yeah, you get paid more and there's different things. Everybody always dislikes the boss. It's just it's the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Everybody dislikes. Now this is pretty intense, this level. I don't think it always gets here, but maybe it always does if you let it go long enough. They would rather gouge their eyes out than watch you lead.
Well, they were saying you would have to poke our eyes out to keep us from seeing what's going on.
That's the only way.
That's the only way I wouldn't be able to tell how badly you're screwing things up.
Right.
And it's great take.
In NIV, in verse 15, it says, Moses talking to God here, Moses became very angry and said to the Lord, do not accept their offering. I have not taken so much as a donkey from them, nor have I wronged any of them. And again, not to keep going to the same well, but it's just big, like, one kid running ahead of the other one energy of like, they're going to come in and tell you that I did something wrong just so you know I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just going to get my story in here first, put it on the record. I didn't do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. And then the other kid's crying very loudly as they come in. And you have to try to, like, figure out what's going on.
I do love pulling a donkey into the specific example. Like, I haven't done anything so small as taking a donkey from them. It sounds like that's kind of an insignificant theft.
Well, and in my example, it's like kind of like, so it sounds like maybe you did take a donkey because that's the thing immediately you said. Like, they're going to come in here and tell you I took a donkey, and I'm telling you I didn't.
I didn't do anything like that.
Now, did they maybe think that the donkey that was mine originally was theirs, and then when I took it back, they were surprised? Yes.
Do I have a lot of donkeys? Can I tell them one from one every time? No, not necessarily. Verse 19 jumps in as another, like, epic line. It sounded like to me. It was Korah and his gang against Moses and Aaron at the entrance of the tent of meeting. The entire community could see the glory of God.
Wow.
I know.
This is a big setup. This is actually, the rebellion of Korah is actually, I would say, up there among the more epic Bible stories nobody knows.
Yes, and that's my point.
Yeah.
As this chapter, like, sort of wraps up and this story comes in, I had never heard this story.
Yeah.
And I remember a lot. My wife would argue otherwise. But I remember a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And this story never told as a kid.
Yeah.
Might as well have been in the book of Enoch. I didn't know about it.
It's kind of interesting. Great callback, first of all. Second of all, it's kind of interesting because on one hand, I'm like, well, I kind of get why you didn't tell the story because just a whole bunch of people died pretty graphically. But then I'm like, it's never stopped you before.
Right. Never.
Yeah,
did
you
that
hit me
stop
with the
us.
story of Noah, and that one had a lot of people dying.
A lot more. Yeah.
And this one, yeah, nobody just and I actually think it's kind of interesting, and you guys know how I hate when we're learning stuff.
Yeah.
But I actually kind of like the juxtaposition here of, like, law and storytelling, and how it's like there are different varying degrees of offenses for accidental, misdoings versus like intentional. Then you have the story of Korah. It's almost like it sets you right up to go like, yes, so this is like a very intentional like thing that was done. And we just talked about the difference in like severity between intentional and non-intentional.
Right. Well, and I want to touch on that in a second after we read this story, because they would need to hear this story.
Yeah, bring it home.
Verse 27 starts. So they all backed away from the tents of Korah. Dathan and Abiram by now had come out and were standing at the entrance to their tents with their wives, children, and babies. Moses continued to address the community. This is how you'll know that it was God who sent me to do all these things, and that it wasn't just anything I cooked up on my own. So this is like the middle of this showdown that we've described already.
I do like a 28, if I can really quick read the NIV. This is how you'll know that the Lord sent me to do all these things, and it was not my idea. I didn't want to take anyone out of Egypt. I didn't even want to come here in the first place.
It wasn't anything I cooked up on my own.
Yeah.
If these men die a natural death like all the rest of us, you'll know that it wasn't God who sent me.
Yeah.
But if God does something unprecedented, for example, if the ground opens up and swallows the lot of them and they are pitched alive into Sheol, then you'll know that these men have been insolent with God. Okay.
Yeah.
So either they die in, I don't know, 40 years after living long and healthy lives, and you'll know God didn't send me. Or, I don't know, maybe God swallows up them in the pit of hell.
Well, and I'll give you, like, what, at this point in the story, we have either A, they live long lives and they die of natural causes, and then God didn't send Moses. 2, they die of some other thing. It could be years from now. They could be dehydrated and some kind of thing that is unexplained, and there's a lot of gap here before they die of natural. Or his example he pitches just quickly off the cuff, which would be that the ground opens up right now and swallows them up whole. So there's a lot of ways this could play out from here.
Yeah, so let's see what happens in verse 31.
Yeah.
The words were hardly out of his mouth when the earth split open. Earth opened its mouth and in one gulp swallowed them down, the men and their families, all the human beings connected with Korah, along with everything they owned. And that was the end of them. Pitched alive into Sheol, the earth closed up over them, and that was the last the community heard of them. Yeah. God is love. Sorry. I took that piece again and I moved it in.
Putting it in there.
Quite like so we go back and we talk about the intentional versus unintentional. The dude that was picking up wood, I would argue, the dude picking up wood on the Sabbath, Ned. I would argue he had a worse death than the people than Korah.
Maybe.
Who was just swallowed alive and probably died right away.
Yeah.
Instantly. The other dude...
Which, by the way, that's just a sinkhole. We get those every day in Florida.
Right. It's no big deal. God hates us. Possibly. You have a person get stoned to death, thrown rocks at him until he dies.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very quickly, I think. I don't know. I've never been there to witness one.
Right.
But I have to imagine that's a pretty gruesome, awful way to perish, especially also maybe for the people who have to murder him too, to do the execution. That's got to be a little rough. And that seems like it's more severe now than the dude who was trying to cause an uprising and overthrow Moses, this like God-chosen character.
I hear you. Important note I have to throw in before we continue. Guy went out and gathered twigs. People threw rocks at him. Is this where we get the phrase sticks and stones may break my bones?
No, it's not.
Okay. Follow-up question. Yeah, no, I'm with you. That seems...
No follow-up.
It's certainly less... It's certainly more dramatic and sort of memorable, the Korah rebellion death.
Oh, sorry. I left out a little part. Don't worry. It softens up.
Go ahead.
Verse 34. At the sound of their cries, everyone ran for dear life, shouting, "We're about to be swallowed up alive."
Yeah.
Don't worry. Verse 35 says, Then God sent lightning, and the fire cremated the 250 men who were offering the incense.
Right.
So, and they live happily ever after.
Right. Again, and maybe some of these details are why it's not much of a Sunday school story. Because in verse 37, I think it's interesting. You covered the whole story, but that was part of it, was these men offering these like incense and these censers. And so it was like this is kind of like performative worship duty, and we're trying to see who God is for and who God is against in this example. And then in 37, they're all consumed by fire, which is what you just you said. Verse 37, it says, "Tell Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, to remove the censers from the charred remains and scatter the coals some distance away, for the censers are holy." So that does make some sense. We have the tools here. We don't want to lose them. Little brutal, because his brothers died exactly this way. And now he's got to go back at it again. But, it just might be a reason they don't tell it in Sunday school. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Later in 41, it says, the next day, this is honestly wild to me. 41, how this chapter ends is wild to me. The next day, the whole Israelite community grumbled against Moses and Aaron. "You've killed the Lord's people," they said. But when the assembly gathered in opposition to Moses and Aaron and turned toward the tent of meeting, suddenly the cloud covered it, and the glory of God, the glory of the Lord appeared. Just again, I'm going to bullet point this. A group of people rebels, kind of comes up against Moses and Aaron. The ground opens up and swallows them into the pit of hell, and then closes back up. And everybody watching is like, "That's not cool. Tomorrow, you guys want to rally against Moses and Aaron and just run it back?"
God can't swallow all of us.
I'm sorry. What now? Come again? This is like the British being like, they tossed all that tea in the harbor, and I was thinking, what if, what we should do is we should send some tea back there on the ship to the harbor where it just was. And boy, the persistence of that will really show them that we mean business. This is like the people of Troy being like, "Oh man, accepting that horse was a real bummer. But what we should do is we should ask for a different animal." And then maybe it will play out differently when we receive that in. How do you not learn the lesson?
Right.
Of well, that didn't work.
And that's not even counting all the the previous 10 stories of people grumbling, and then they get smoten by God. Yeah.
But it's the next dayness of the next day, the whole assembly.
Right.
That was crazy what happened yesterday. Same time tomorrow? We're going to pick not Team Moses? See how it goes?
But this time.
Maybe the modern day example is every MLB player that's not on the Dodgers going to spring training this year, going I'm on a different team. Maybe this year we'll all beat the No, you won't. They're just the most powerful team.
Yeah.
You're doomed to fail.
The Message version, because this story continues on to just be wild. Message version, verse 41 says, "Grumbling broke out the next day, grumbling against Moses and Aaron. 'You have killed God's people,' they said. But it so happened that when the community got together against Moses and Aaron, they looked over at the tent of meeting, and there was the cloud, the glory of God for all to see. Moses and Aaron stood at the front of the tent of meeting. God spoke to Moses, 'Back away from this congregation so that I can do away with them this very minute.' Back up. I'm gonna kill them." And I feel like, maybe I've said that to my wife about my kids. Just hang on.
Yeah.
You need to leave the room I can yell at them properly. They threw themselves face down on the ground. Moses said to Aaron, "Take your censer and fill it with incense, along with the fire from the altar. Get to the congregation as fast as you can and make atonement for them. Anger is pouring out from God. The plague has started."
Yeah.
Moses is like, "Get over there. If you're proximal, God might not kill you."
Yeah.
Let's hope. But you go first.
Right.
You go. Aaron grabbed the censer as directed by Moses and ran in the midst of the congregation. The plague had already begun. He put burning incense into the censer and atoned for the people. He stood there between the living and dead and stopped the plague. Aaron is in the middle of the story, and he's stopping this plague because he's got this little, tin can full of ashes and stuff. Verse 49 through 50, 14,700 people died from the plague, not counting those who died in the affair of Korah. Aaron then went back to join Moses at the entrance of the tent of meeting. The plague was stopped. What just happened? In 2 days, according to this story, we started with some grumbling and people got swallowed up into the earth. And then the next day, some more came in and we're like, there's more of us now. God can't do anything.
Yeah.
And then God said, 14,700 people will die of this plague in possibly a day. Seems like.
But maybe most importantly, Aaron's now standing there like, that's right.
I did something.
Remember a second ago when I was even worth grumbling at?
Here, let me wave my little...
I just participated in stopping a plague.
I'm going to wave my string now.
Yeah, who am I to grumble? You should grumble against me. I'm worth grumbling against.
I have the power. Number 17. Those are some wild stories I had never heard in my whole life.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a lot of people not.
If you're new to that story, welcome. It's
it's interesting. And again, like we're skimming. I encourage you. Like I just think the Bible is so interesting in some of these details and all this stuff. But the Kohathites have come up several times up till now, and this is in Korah is like he is the representing that group. Mm-hmm. So it was like you start to see these names and we do our puns and things like that. But if you pay attention, the story kind of gets interesting because you're like, oh, Kohathites, you guys have been part of the crew the whole time. Mm-hmm. What happened? Mm-hmm. You start grumbling.
Number 17 is a short chapter.
Yes, it is.
And it says Aaron's staff, and we're not talking about people, employees. It's the actual staff.
Although after that performance, he probably got a big head and started hiring assistants.
He kind of did. God spoke to Moses, speak to the people of Israel, get staffs from them, 12 staffs in all, one from the leader of each of their ancestral tribes. Write each man's name on the staff. Now, paraphrasing, but now lay them out in the tent of meeting in front of the testimony where I keep appointments with you. What will happen next is this. The staff of the man I choose will sprout.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a stop to this endless grumbling by the people of Israel against you.
Yeah.
Which is funny that it seems like maybe God could have done something else to stop their grumbling. It seems within God's wheelhouse.
I mean, I think the grumbling was stopped.
It was stopped. It was stopped. I mean, the plagues, a lot of the grumbling stopped.
Hard to grumble from their position at this point.
Right. Well, there's not many left of them. Moses.
I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
It does give me the vibe of like, again, so much of these stories in the role of Moses and God feel so paternal. And it does remind me a little of the 2 chapters of like me, when the stress levels are high and everybody's emotionally, when I'm in a good place, I come up with really creative solutions for everybody and everything's so nice. And it's like, let's see what flowers come from a staff. Mm-hmm. That's me when I've had like a good day of work and my coffee was good and the sun is shining and like, yeah, man, I'm solving problems. Look at how clever I am. But then the chapter before is when everybody's yelling and everybody's annoyed at everybody. And, Mike Evans signed with a team that's not the Bucks. And that's when I'm more the last chapter as a parent.
Right.
Yeah.
Plagues for everyone.
It's plagues for everybody at that point.
Verse 8 and 9, Moses walked into the tent of meeting the next day and saw Aaron's staff. The staff of the tribe of Levi had in fact sprouted. Buds, blossoms, and even ripe almonds were growing on the staff, which I think is also kind of wild. And then God said to Moses, return Aaron's staff to the front of the testimony. Keep it there as a sign to the rebels. This will put a stop to the grumbling against me and save their lives. Yeah. I'm just thinking God could have, again, put an end to the grumbling, but just be chill. Could you be chill, like, with them being mad and grumbling? Because you kind of knew it was going to happen. Like, I know when my kids are going to be upset when I tell them they can't have ice cream. Because they already had it or whatever. Right. I know that's going to happen.
And I do think they were, like, going to kill Moses, should be noted, just for the sake of the story.
Right.
Like they were like
this time, but all the other times, I feel like the grumbling, I wasn't there. Doesn't sound like it was that bad. It also doesn't sound like it wasn't without reason. They were grumbling not because they were like it was like a little warm outside. Like their babies are literally dying, or maybe they can't see tomorrow because they're in the desert. And it's really hot. And they don't have food or water. Like they don't have the resources and the provisions that they even did have when they were slaves. Like they're upset about that. I don't think that's a reason to start swallowing them into the earth. But again, I'm not God.
And like you said, it's one of those things you're like, how bad did it get? And like we do get the note that they were like going to kill him. It's so funny you just mentioned that, because I think, and there's no way of knowing this stuff, but it's like, would they have gone back to, was that the move? Were they going to go back to Egypt and be like, we're back? Mm-hmm. Like, was the thought that far down?
And we're ready to work.
Like, did you actually, because they say that a lot,
right?
And you're like, I to a degree understand where that sentiment's coming from. It is harder, and that's what's so cool about this story is like, again, I hate to be serious sometimes.
No, we're not learning.
But when you think about the difference between being in a bad situation that's predictable versus a good situation that is different and changing every day, it's scary. Like, it's a scarier thing. When I know this person is going to act this way, that's not good every single day, there's a safety in it versus like, now I'm out there and I don't know what's going to happen every day.
Well, and also you were alive and you weren't being swallowed by the earth. That's the thing.
You're alive-ish.
Yeah, but you were literally not being swallowed by the earth.
I mean, swallowed by the earth is probably unique, but
I'd say
you start to like.
No, I get it, but the comment of like, well, I mean, it was bad, but we got a pretty good situation here now. Yeah, okay. You kind of do and you kind of don't, because when you complain about it or you say something, you speak to upper management and you're axed in every sense of the word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seems a little harsh. Doesn't seem that great. But this chapter ends. It says, the people of Israel said to Moses, we're as good as dead. This is our death sentence. Anyone who even gets close to the dwelling of God is as good as dead. Are we all doomed? And that's the end of the chapter. And I thought that was a great cliffhanger.
It's very good.
If you're only reading a couple chapters at a time and you stop there, you're going to keep going.
Yeah. I noted the same thing. I think it's worth reading in the NIV. Israelites said to Moses, we will die. We are lost. We are all lost. Anyone who even comes near the tabernacle of the Lord will die. Are we all going to die?
It's great.
I mean, fair question.
And the answer is yes.
You picked a fight and now you're like scared how far it's going to go. Now we're on to 18.
Mm-hmm.
Also short.
It's a longer chapter, but there's not a ton in here.
Oh, that's right. 17.
18 is the duties in the tent of testimony. My first note was God is talking to Aaron and is saying like, you and your sons, along with your father's family, are responsible for taking care of the sins having to do with the sanctuary. He's telling them the brothers in the tribe of Levi what they're supposed to do. They'll report to you as they go about their duties related to the tent, but they must not have anything to do with the holy things of the altar under penalty of death. Both they and you will die. And Aaron's probably like, yeah, been there, done that. Your job is to take care of the sanctuary and the altar so that there will be no more outbreaks of anger on the people of Israel.
Right.
Okay. I personally have picked your brothers, the Levites from Israel as a whole. I'm giving them to you as a gift of God to help with the work of the tent of meeting. But only you and your sons may serve as priests working around the altar and inside the curtain. The work of the priesthood is my exclusive gift to you. It cannot be delegated. For anyone who invades the sanctuary will be executed. And I thought a couple of things here. One, God kind of seems like God is passing the buck on why there's outbreaks of anger on the people of Israel, as if God doesn't have the self-control to not produce outbursts of anger on the people of Israel. You're in charge of making sure they don't complain so that I don't have to get real pissed and kill everybody. Okay. And I wonder if Aaron's like, couldn't you just like not be so mad? Couldn't you just like not take such offense to that situation? And then the other piece of this felt like it's like you are being held accountable. Your boss comes to you and is like, you're being held accountable for all of this work.
Yes.
And I am going to kill you if you don't do it well. Also, here's all the people that I'm hiring your staff to do the work. And I think if that's me in that situation, I'm gonna kind of go like, but can I hire them? Can I hire the people that I think are going to help me?
My life is
literally on the line.
Yeah.
Can I use my discernment? Because if one of your people messes up, I die.
Right.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's heavy, high stakes.
I received both of those observations. I don't know. I don't really have any other notes either.
That's good.
It's a very, it's just like a dangerous situation. I think that this is one of the reasons why probably the community opinion has shifted somewhat on members of the cloth. Because these people were probably like, oh, those people that do that job be dying all the time. That's actually a tough job. Mm-hmm. You guys got to watch out for that. But we don't have any like, in one way you're grateful. There's not as many while working deaths among clergy. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, kind of makes the job a little less respectable because you're like, well, doesn't cost you much, does it? Like, it's pretty cozy in your gig now.
You're just getting free chicken.
Back in the day.
Every time we have a sacrifice, you just get another piece of the thigh. You wave it to God,
right.
and then...
Back in the day, you lit one of those fires wrong, you were gone. You had to be locked in at all times.
Gone.
Nowadays, you get up there and you give a dud on a Sunday morning sermon, everybody's like, nah, see you next week. Let it slide.
Mm-hmm. Numbers 19 starts with the red cow. The red cow.
Sorry, just laughing that my summary point was if more clergy died on the job, I think we'd appreciate the job more.
Right. They'd be heroes like firefighters.
Yeah. That's what yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm with you.
All right, back to the red cows.
The red cow. God spoke to Moses and Aaron. This is the rule from the revelation that God commands. Tell the people of Israel to get a red cow, a healthy specimen, ritually clean, that has never been in harness. Present it to Eleazar the priest, then take it outside the camp and butcher it while he looks on. Then under Eleazar's supervision, burn the cow, the whole thing, hide, meat, blood, even its dung. The priest then will take a stick of cedar, some sprigs of hyssop, and a piece of scarlet material and throw them on the burning cow. That's what we're doing with the cow. Then a man who is ritually clean will gather the ashes of the cow and place them in a ritually clean place outside the camp. The congregation of Israel will keep them to use in the water of cleansing and absolution offering.
And here was a question I had about that. One, for our deep Bible nerds, this is the red heifer, I think is what like King James calls it. And this is like the source of a lot of speculation. There's people that now think that they're like attempting to, or maybe this is validated or not, I haven't seen, but they're like attempting to get a red heifer back to this sort of thing. This is like a real thing people talk about. What I was confused about a little bit is starting in verse 9, a man who is clean gathers up the ashes of the heifer, puts them in a ceremonially clean place outside the camp, and there they're kept for use in the water of cleansing. Mm-hmm. The man who gathers up the ashes has to wash his clothes because he's unclean.
Like where? Wait. At what point?
Sort of like the mind warp of the towel of like, I get out of the shower and I'm clean. And then I use the towel, which is on my clean body. Mm-hmm. And then the towel's dirty. Mm-hmm. When did the towel get dirty?
That's a great point.
But it is. But you don't know exactly when it got dirty. Mm-hmm. For that sake, the shower itself, soap and water. It's all that happens in there. Mm-hmm. And yet, it's a dirty shower sometimes. Mm-hmm.
And why don't we call the soap dirty when I use it to get the dirt off my body?
The dirtiest thing in the shower is the soap. If there was any time to stop the podcast and be like, they have no idea what they're talking about, it is when they discovered the dirtiest part of the shower is the soap.
Look out.
21. Wait.
Yeah,
this is a lasting ordinance for them.
Yeah.
The man who sprinkles the water of cleansing must also... Oh, yeah. This was along the same lines. The man who sprinkles the water of cleansing must also wash his clothes. And anyone who touches the water of cleansing will be unclean.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This one got me. Anything that's ritually unclean, that a ritually unclean man touches becomes unclean, and the person who touches what he touches is unclean until evening.
Yeah.
It seems like this circular logic.
It's a real SAT question.
Right. Just keeps going.
If all who touch the water of cleansing are unclean, mm-hmm. but not all who are clean and touch the water of cleansing will walk away cleansed.
Mm-hmm. Anything you touch that was touching the thing that was unclean before it touched the unclean thing is now unclean by proxy and retroactively unclean cleaned, in which case the thing that cleans the thing that was unclean is now unclean in and of itself.
Right. Gosh, and it is making it even funnier to me, your point in the last chapter of like Aaron just up to his eyeballs trying to understand the ins and the outs of this, and then being like, all right, here's all the new team. Anybody does one thing wrong, everybody dies. See ya. And going like, okay. So, this is the water of cleansing.
Oh my gosh.
That's what makes us clean. No. The opposite. I can see why you would think that, but in fact, that is not the case.
Oh my gosh. Aaron never asked for any of this either.
Yeah.
Like from the beginning, when he was like, Moses was like, hey dude, you got to come with me.
Right.
He's like, no, I don't do this.
Moses was like, I don't talk so good. And Aaron was like, I can talk. Record scratch. Fast forward. Here's where he is now.
Oh my gosh.
I
think we need to have like a TV series about Aaron.
He would be a really good one. I mean, when you really get practical on like Moses has like who authors of Moses, Hall of Faith, Moses, like gravitas. Who is assessing rashes? Aaron. Who is being talked down to as if like, who is Aaron to grumble against it? Like Aaron is such a focal point of these stories to me. He jumps out all the time.
Yeah.
Moses walks away for a second. He makes a golden calf. You know, he's an interesting character. I'm on to Numbers 20.
Numbers 20. Camp Kadesh. In the first month, the entire company of the people of Israel lived in the wilderness of Zin. The people stayed in Kadesh. This is not to be confused with the Zin nicotine pouches, by the way, spelled differently.
Not a sponsor.
Not at all. Miriam died there and she was buried.
Yeah.
There was no water there for the community, so they ganged up on Moses and Aaron. They attacked Moses. We wish we died when the rest of our brothers died before God, I assume, sucked into the earth. Why did you haul this congregation of God out here in the wilderness to die, people and cattle alike? And why did you take us out of Egypt in the first place, dragging us into this miserable country? No grain, no figs, no grapevines, no pomegranates, and now not even any water. And I don't know why they left it out, but certainly no frogs. They had all the frogs they could want.
They had so many frogs.
And locusts. We had so many. We didn't even know what to do with them.
That's true. Yeah.
God spoke to Moses, take the staff, assemble the community. You and your brother Aaron speak to that rock that's right in front of them, and it will give water. You will bring water out of the rock for them. Congregation and cattle will both drink. So Moses, fast forwarding a little bit, with that, Moses raised his arm. Moses is like yelling at the people. He says, listen, rebels, do we have to bring water out of this rock for you? He's upset. So with that, Moses raised his arm and slammed his staff against the rock once, twice. Water poured out, congregation and cattle drank. Cool. Seems like that's the end of the story. God said to Moses and Aaron, because you didn't trust me, and by that we mean like because he hit the rock instead of talking to it.
Yeah.
Because you didn't trust me, didn't treat with holy reverence in front of the people of Israel, you two aren't going to lead this company into the land that I'm giving them. Like it says these were the waters of Meribah bickering, where the people of Israel bickered with God, and he revealed himself as holy. And it's funny to me, there's like that they didn't trust God. That's the phrase that's used here. And there literally was no water. And it's not like they didn't look around, but technically, like the technical issue is that he hit it instead of speaking to it like God said. And by the way, Moses did hit a rock back in Exodus on purpose. And that was an okay form of getting water.
Right.
But Simon didn't say to hit the rock this time. Simon said, talk to the rock. And now they're being punished. Like this whole thing, like they don't get to go to the promised land.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I wonder if a little bit, Aaron's just like looking at Moses like, yeah, it's not fun, is it? Yeah. Got a very specific list of rules and you do the little, oh, first time? Interesting.
Nobody died because of it? Oh,
nobody died immediately? Uh-huh. Oh, must be tough.
Must be tough to not die.
he does in the NIV. It does seem a little performative in verse 10. Again, you're not there for all of the nuance of what's going on. But in 10, it says, he and Aaron gathered the assembly together in front of the rock, and Moses said to them, "Listen, you rebels, must we bring you water out of this rock?" It's a little "Are you entertained" from Gladiator energy. And again, we've talked about potentially the Egyptian magician influence on Moses. This has come up a couple of times. And it's certainly hard not to think about a magic wand when you go, boo, boo, look at the water. Where'd the lighter fluid come from?
I think there's any point where Moses like took his staff and he was like doing the little fake shotgun thing, like at the rock.
I got to imagine. There was a whole presentation. But either way, it doesn't end well. They get a punishment for this. Shortly after, it gets worse for Aaron. If I may continue on.
You may.
Because I have a couple of things I want to talk about here, but I'm going to do this one first, even though it's going to go in reverse order a little bit. God tells Moses that Aaron's going to die. He's going to go up. He's just going to go up on this mountain. I found this again. I've not my first time reading this, but it definitely jumped out at me new this time because it's very like I don't know. Forgive me for being insensitive. It's a bit like telling your kids you're going to put your cat down. Like it was, he goes to Moses and he's like, okay, Aaron's going to die. Aaron's alive at that time that this conversation's being had. He's going to go up and you're going to go up on the mountain with him. He's going to die up there. And it's a little bit like, like what? That's all very, I don't know. It's interesting to me. I think Aaron is told at one point that somebody's going to die and that he can't like mourn about it. But it's a little bit, feels like a little bit more prophetic, but this is like, there's an activeness to this. Let's get to 28. Moses removed Aaron's garments and put them on his son Eleazar, and Aaron died there on top of the mountain. Then Moses and Eleazar came down from the mountain. It just left me with going like, what happened to Aaron on that mountain?
Right.
Like, is he just left there?
You just left an old man naked on a mountain.
Took his stuff off, you left. I
think that might have been why he died.
And then part of me was like, I'm very curious, and I'm sure I didn't have enough time to do like a proper dive, and I should, because I'm interested. Because a lot of times there's early writings that like coincide, but I wonder if he was like, is he taken up or something? We get no like, how did he die? You left him there. That's the last we get of the story. It's a little bit of like maybe if this happened in like the Ozarks, you'd be like, there's an old man of the mountain that still roams around sometimes. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of the vibe. It's like, well, nobody saw him die. I left.
I also leave it open for Moses to be like, yeah, God told me he was going to die. God predicted. God only told me that was going to happen. That's why I still have all his clothes. It's weird. I mean, I took his clothes because God told me to, and so he froze to death on the mountain. But God told me to. It was God. If you want to take it up with God? Do you want to grumble? You remember? You don't. Oh, you don't want to grumble anymore. Okay.
You have to wonder how in is Aaron on the whole thing. Moses is like, we're gonna climb. He's like, oh great, let's go climb the mountain. That's fun.
Let's do it naked.
Let's go climb a mountain together. Thanks, bud. We haven't had some quality time. Hey, why are you taking off my priest stuff? I'm supposed to die up here? Okay. I guess.
And it's all because Moses hit the rock with a stick.
Honestly,
you're supposed to talk to him.
Now I don't have to worry about the cleansing of stuff like this. I'm not even mad about it, Moses. Thanks, bud. That got dark. Verse 20. Here's another thing I thought was interesting in 20, and this is going to bleed into 21. So, sorry, jump in where you have observations as well. But the Moses and the people of Israel are asking to pass through a land. And I'm just going to give you the run up and then give you verse 20. But they are just passing through the land. And they say, can we pass through the land? We're not going to eat anything. We're not going to drink anything. We're going to take the main highway. We're going to drive through. And that's it. Is that cool? And then in verse 20, the ruler of that land answers, you may not pass through. Which is a big, you shall not pass energy from Lord of the Rings. Probably where Tolkien got that. Then again in verse 21, they are asking another time, and I'll give you a little bit more. He's talking to the Sihon king of the Amorites. He says, let us pass through your country. We will not turn aside into any field or vineyard or drink water from any well. We're going to pass through the king's highway. We're just going to pass through. Is it cool if we pass through? And in both cases, I didn't read this in the previous chapter, but an army comes out to get them. And then in verse 23 of chapter 21, Sihon would not let Israel pass through his territory, and he mustered his entire army. And I just... the way both of these interactions read, it's like if you were in a room and you were like, hey, let me squeeze by you real quick. I'm trying to get to the bathroom. And that person turned around and punched you in the face.
Right.
Like, I presented no threat. I was asking to get by.
Yeah.
And instead, you came out so violently.
Yeah, but in the first one... In the first one, Edom refused to let them cross through his land, so Israel had to detour around him.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, can I get through? And he goes like, nah, no. And he went, oh, okay, I'm going to find another route. Numbers 21, Israel, the Canaanite king of Arad, ruling in the Negev, heard that Israel was advancing up on the road. He attacked Israel and took prisoners of war. Essentially the same thing. And then Israel vowed a vow to God, if you will give this people into our power, we'll destroy their towns and present the ruins to you as a holy destruction. Yes, the holy pile of rubble. And so then God killed them.
This is Sihon?
Yeah, something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you try to slide by. Oh, so you're saying the first one's like, you can't go through here. Oh, okay. So I go around somewhere else. And the second one, they had enough. Mm-hmm. They were like, you're not going to let us through? Fine. Then fights it is. Mm-hmm. And they duke it out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think my takeaway there is just like, if somebody's trying to get by, you should let them through.
Just let them go. Just let them go, man.
It just avoids a lot of complications if you just let them through.
Do you want to talk about the snake of fiery copper in Numbers 21?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Verse 4 and 5. They set out from Mount Hor, not Mount H-O-R.
It's spelled like it sounds.
That's how it is. It's not my word. Along the Red Sea Road, a detour around the land of Edom. The people became irritable and cross as they traveled. They spoke out against God and Moses. Why did you drag us out of Egypt to die in this God-forsaken country? No decent food, no water. We can't stomach this stuff any longer. So God did what God would, normally do. God sent poisonous snakes among the people. They bit them, and many in Israel died. The people came to Moses and said, we sinned when we spoke out against God and you. Pray to God, ask him to take these snakes from us. Moses prayed for the people. God said to Moses, make a snake and put it on a flagpole. Whoever's bitten and looks at it will live. So Moses made a snake of fiery copper and put it on top of the flagpole. Anybody bitten by a snake who then looked at the copper snake lived. It's just I knew the story existed.
Yeah.
It's still wild. The God's like workaround for people getting bitten by snakes was this. Instead of getting rid of the snakes, God was like, I still want my people being bit by the snakes. Yeah. I can't get rid of them. Once you introduce the snakes, it's just
got a taste for human flesh now.
Yeah, it disrupts their
the keystone species.
Yeah. So we'll keep them. We're gonna keep getting bit by snakes. Yeah, it's no fun. So just the workaround here is just look up at that bronze one that's up there, and you're gonna be fine. I mean, you got to look at it within about 4 hours because otherwise it's gonna set in.
Yeah. I hate to be so morbid again. A lot of death in these chapters, but I just know somebody refused to look at somebody there, and it was a dude. Let's be honest, and it was a dude, and he was in his tent.
I'm fine.
No, you got bit by a snake. We all can see the bite.
It's not a bite. I think it was gerbil.
Jerry, it's a bite, and you just have to literally look at this thing.
I'm not gonna look at a thing.
You're turning white. Your whole lower half is now white.
It's because it's not getting enough blood because I got to get up and walk around.
No, you just have to look at the thing.
I'm fine. I'm just going to take a nap.
Bob next door looked at the thing, and now you're going to take a nap. You're never going to wake up.
You want to be with Bob? Go be with Bob. You want to be with Bob?
This is a real argument that I know happened, and somebody died. At the end of it, Jerry he never looked. He just was like, I'm not doing it.
I think Jerry was already pretty miserable. He didn't want to. He didn't want to like do it himself, but he was willing to go. I'm tired.
It's just time and time again, and there's some of my favorite Bible stories. It'll just be like, oh, and I don't want to give spoilers because we're going to cover all of them. But they're just like, oh, you just have to do this thing, and you're good.
The book's been around for a long time.
And as
it's
much
not
as
really
I
a spoiler.
say that stuff, I'm like, man, I'm feeling right. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not feeling right. I don't know. Something's off. It's like, oh, are you drinking water and sleeping? No. Oh, you should do that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm fine. I just got to take a nap. I just got to get up and move around a little bit. No, you literally, like, your body just needs a couple of things, and you just have to make sure it gets those things. Yep. No, thank you.
That seems like too much work.
Gonna have another coffee and go to bed late again. Thanks so much. I'm no better than Jerry the Israelite from Numbers. Yeah, it's a wild story. That's wild to me that that is still on like a lot of ambulance vehicles.
The snake.
The snake on the pole,
Yeah. Came from Moses.
Wow, that's a really wild, and that's like, if you Google it, it's not like there's some other meaning. It's from this one. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a wild story. There you go. If you didn't know, now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah, Numbers got real spicy this run.
Well,
some good stories.
In the end, I don't know if you're done with it. There's the end of that chapter of 21.
Go ahead.
And it ends with, so verse 31 and 32, Israel moved in and lived in Amorite country. Moses sent men out to scout out Jazer. They captured its villages, and drove away the Amorites who lived there. Then they turned north on the road to Bashan. Og, king of Bashan, marched out with his entire army to meet Moses in the battle of Edrei. God said to Moses, "Don't be afraid of him. I'm making a present of him to you, him and all his people in his land. Treat him the same as Sihon, king of the Amorites, who ruled in Heshbon." This is fun. So they attacked him, his sons, and all the people. There was not a single survivor. Israel took the land. God is love.
Again, the takeaway, let people pass. Just let them go.
Or go around, man.
Don't make a thing of it.
Whatever it is, man.
Don't make a thing. I tell you this, I mean this with my whole chest too, and it sounds like I'm joking. Is there people like on the road, they're like, no, I'm not letting them go around me, or I'm not letting them cut in front. Let it go. I can't track with that for 1 second. We are in 2-ton vehicles going 80 miles an hour. Let them go. You're going to be there 10 seconds later.
There's principles here, and I am with some of those people.
I know.
Don't let them go by. You just don't let them go by because you drive in the fast lane and you get distracted and you drive at 65 miles an hour.
Always going 65.
Right. In the fast lane.
Wherever I am.
Right. Because you're the happiest person driving.
Rachel always says, you're just always cruising. Yes.
Uh-huh.
I am. Uh-huh. I'm always cruising.
In the left lane.
We're going to get where we're trying to go.
No, not them. They're not. They need you to go faster.
They're getting there 90 seconds before me at a 20% greater risk of injury.
Yeah, but they're getting there faster.
I give you.
And just get out of the way. Get out of the way.
You do love when you pull up next to them at the red light, though. And you're like...
Right, but there's not red lights on the interstate.
Look at you.
It's the interstate that we're talking about. Me.
Oh, yeah, the interstate. Yeah, I'm trucking along.
I know.
I'm trucking along.
I've been with you.
And you should too, to be honest with you. What is the rush?
In the right lane. Be in the right lane. Rush? No. Be in the right lane.
That's all I got for Numbers.
We did it. We'll wrap up Numbers next time, yeah.
My takeaways are let people pass. And also, take account if it was accidental or on purpose. I think those are my big takeaways from today. Mm-hmm. Did you have anything?
I literally did learn about, some of these stories. They were brand new and fresh to me. But I think the thing I learned was about Aaron. My takeaway was about Aaron and like I understand him more. I feel for him more. He is a bit of a hero now for me in this story because he's always a little side piece we don't really talk about. Right.
Well, that's it for Numbers 15 to 21. Right? Isn't that what we did today?
Yeah, we did a lot
of coverage. Let us know what you think at The Bible's Funny on Instagram and TikTok. And, get in your Bible before we gather together again next time. We're going to finish the book of Numbers. You can be all caught up in the ins and the outs if you read ahead. And we'll see you then. All right? Get your hat at the link in the show notes. You can do that right now. And then we'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.
Okay, love you.